In today's video, we are going to be looking at Gonzaga University and how they win their basketball games. They are a contender to win this year's March Madness, and they have one of the top prospects in Chet Holmgren. Let's get down and let's check out Gonzaga because they're absolutely amazing. First off, their plays work extremely well with the pass to the wing using Chet Holmgren as a screen and roll while at the same time using a back screen with Timmy. Why this is so effective is because now with Chet Holmgren's man hedging and of course the main defender following over top of that screen, that leaves a massive lane for Chet Holmgren. But usually there would be a help defender, but Timmy is setting that back screen on, if we rewind just a bit, on that main help defender who would have been coming over to try and stop Chet Holmgren from scoring, allowed Chet Holmgren to have basically a wide open lane to the basket. Now Gonzaga, when it comes to the defense, is really good with their press defense. Here they had that trap. They were protecting, of course, half court, but they were not protecting this man over here. However, their rotation over to disrupt what that player was trying to do was extremely amazing. Their lateral quickness and their speed was what really helped here, and of course you can tell that this player was really surprised by that because what he should have done was just stop, catch, pass over to this guy who was cutting over. However, he tried to split those defenders and it just did not work. Of course, having two players who are massively tall in Chet Holmgren and Timmy, you can have some pretty crazy high to low passes with that combination. Also, their spacing on the fast break is important as well. That is the main reason why they were able to hit this shot. The ball handler went towards the middle, which is extremely important. You really want to attack the middle on a fast break. Even if you've got a player who is already cutting down the middle, it doesn't necessarily matter. You want to be able to get to the middle because that gives you the most amount of options to be able to, of course, score. And here, there was no defenders on this side, so he was able to get that pass over to score. Now, the ability to have a 7-foot player who can handle the ball, who can essentially play point guard as well, being able to collapse the defense onto him when he's driving down the middle is extremely important, and he's able to get these passes in to very good positions down in the low post. Now, if you're a player who likes to cut to the basket, or if you play on a team that plays this kind of offense, definitely you don't need to go out towards the corner. If you see that the man who's cutting towards the high post, or at least driving to the high post, has drawn up the baseline defenders, you can loop back underneath that basket, what we call the Russian spot with at least older coaches in Canada, because that will allow you to have a lot of options. Because by cutting back under, you could get that pass for the layup, and if not, you can then just pop out, and guess what? There's no defenders over there anyways, so this player could have easily passed out there too if, of course, one of those players were to drop down and defend you in that low post. And let's not forget that Timmy has some fantastic footwork. Here he uses that spin move to be able to use that footwork for that up and under move is absolutely fantastic. If you're trying to become a better player, definitely in the low post, definitely use your pivots to your advantage. With every pivot, use some kind of a fake. With this pivot, he made it look like he was about to drive in that direction. And then when he turned, he did that shot fake with that pivot, and then he got that man up into the air so that he could step through for that layup. Again, spacing is very important. Getting behind the defense. If you have a line of defenders in something like a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone, and you are on the corner, and these guys have been lifted up, definitely cut baseline. This is one of the reasons why Gonzaga wins a lot of games, is because they're able to read that defense and they're able to get easy baskets. I also really like to see the two-man game with Timmy and Chet Holmgren. They're able to set screens for each other in the high post, where then Chet Holmgren, because of his height, he's like over 6-7 feet tall, he can get those tip-ins with any kind of lob. Sometimes this is a dunk, other times this is a tip. And when you've got two traditional sized centers, for example here we have Chet Holmgren on the court at this time with no other traditional sized center. However, when you've got Timmy and Chet Holmgren on at the same time, that's a deadly combination. And this is another reason why I'm saying this, is because then you can set screens with Chet Holmgren where now the traditional center on the other team is being taken up by Timmy, and then when you've got Chet Holmgren cutting to the rim, you really have nobody else who can guard him, because who's going to have 2 7-footers, right? So because of that, Chet Holmgren was able to get a ton of easy screen and roll baskets. When we go back, when Timmy is posting up, some screen and rolls with Chet really do open up the court for him. I would really actually like to see a team with a traditional center in the NBA pick up Chet Holmgren, so that then you'd be able to see some amazing off-ball action with Chet and other centers. And this even opens up options for Timmy as well, because here we see a traditional center guarding Chet Holmgren and Chet setting that screen. We then have our guard who's attacking the rim, and that then leaves Timmy wide open, and he's able to get those baskets made, because then watch what he does. If you are a young center, this is something that you should do. He caught the ball here. He did not dip it down. He went straight up. If he was to dip that ball back down and then go up, this help side defender would have been able to swat that ball, keep that ball high, and go for that layup. Now, can you imagine trying to score on these two defenders in the low post? Here we have one guy trying to score on Timmy, thinking he's got the basket, and then Chet Holmgren comes over and blocks him. Like, these are two massive dudes who are very good defenders. And with Timmy's back to the basket post moves, as we can see here, with that drop step here, pivot, shot fake, turn back around for that finger roll layup is just absolutely fantastic. If you are a center, a young center who is trying to become great in the low post, definitely look at some of Timmy's post moves. Like especially this one here where he's looking over his shoulder, looking for that backdoor cut, and then he's able to still absolutely destroy his defender by waiting for that jump. So here, he's looking over his shoulder. He's looking for players who are cutting down, either down the middle of the key or baseline. When he notices that there's nobody here, he takes a couple of dribbles towards the middle. This then gets that main defender on this side of his body, so that now when he spins off, he's able to then do a quick hop step, shot fake, gets that defender up into the air, and when that defender starts falling, that's when Timmy goes up for his shot. This is high-level moves that you can learn from watching Timmy. And with Chet Holmgren's ability to play defense, it's extremely hard to score on Gonzaga. I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player, but maybe even a better basketball team. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.